and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and I decided that I actually wanted to take a base game house. This one in particular is the one on the Nookstone lot in Oasis Springs, and I kind of wanted just to give it a renovation, and I tried to keep it more realistic. Like, I didn't actually expand the house or do anything like that. I just kind of, I think, added a wall and then just moved some doors, which, don't get me wrong, would probably still be expensive, but I think is doable. And like, I kept the bathroom where it was because you wouldn't want to reroute that plumbing, like that kind of thing. But I think this floor plan works a whole lot better. Like, this actually ends up having 2 bedrooms, and the bedroom that was here like didn't have a closed like wall or door. It was really weird. I don't know. I just didn't really understand the layout of this, but I did end up adding 2 bedrooms, and I decided that the Sims I wanted for my screenshots was actually like a single dad and his teenage daughter. And they turned out so cute in the screenshots. I loved it so much. And honestly, I think this house turned out really well. And I think it kind of works really well in this desert area. And I did end up altering like the back just a little bit. I did take out like the cover for the porch. So I guess that would be kind of a difficult renovation, I feel like. But I feel like it would still be kind of doable. But I decided to take that out because I figured, you know, it'd be nice to have some of the sun coming in. And I used like the Desert Luxe kit out in the backyard and actually some in the house as well. But I wanted it to be this really nice, like warm brown colors everywhere. And so there's a lot of wood tones everywhere, but in that like darker brown swatch. And I ended up using, like, I think for this room, did I actually use an accent wall? I thought I was going to, and I liked the way that that like design was like perfectly aligned with where the bed would go. But then when I chose the bed, I don't know, it just didn't quite match, especially once I picked the rug to go with it. So I ended up using that like wood pattern a lot, and I did change some of the windows. Actually, I changed all of the windows. So again, I mean, I feel like you could add windows to a house and stuff. I'm not saying this was cheap, but maybe they decided to buy this and kind of like fix it up, because this house needed some love. This was not a great house, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was necessarily the worst house in the game, but you can tell it was definitely before they had like simmers actually helping them create houses. So I tried to just keep this like kind of simple, not like super cluttered, but there is also like an office workspace in here, so your Sims have a place to work on like homework or whatever they wanted to do. I didn't necessarily consider what I thought this Sim did for a living or anything like that, but so there's not like certain like career items here, but you can certainly actually add them if you wanted to download it. It is already up on the Sims 4 gallery if you wanted to check it out and download it. It is under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all lowercase and all one word, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And of course, as always, if you want to download it, do whatever you want with it, gut it, change it, like maybe you just like the floor plan. It doesn't matter to me, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It would just be, you know, lovely if you'd be able to use it and I could help you in some way. And so I ended up adding these beautiful windows, and I added this gorgeous door to this space. And I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't exactly sure what I was trying to do here. This definitely took me a minute. I tried different doors because honestly I was having a hard time with the wood swatches on the windows and on the door. Like, I even pulled a door and a window from the same pack and used what I thought was the same swatch. So I don't know if it was the lighting outside that made it look a little weird, like on the front, but I promise I tried my best that they should match. And then I used that like skinny window in the bathroom and in the kitchen to let in a little extra light because I felt like that would be really helpful. And I ended up using actually that whole entire wall for the kitchen. I tried to do a few things, but then with the front door being right there and the back door being right across from it, it definitely limited where I could put that kitchen space. So I actually just kind of made it like a long wall of kitchen, if that makes sense. And I do end up putting up a half wall there and put the dining space on the other side of it. And I think this space actually worked out really well. You can see me though messing around with the upper cabinets a lot, trying to get this figured out because I knew I was gonna add curtains too. And I was trying not to have the curtains clip, like I did my best, but the curtains clip a little bit into the bottom counter, but I wanted the curtains and I liked these counters and I wasn't moving it. I wasn't going to delete a counter just because of the curtain, but if it does bother you, you can, you know, of course, rearrange it and do whatever you want with it. I ended up putting these beautiful baskets above the stove. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like that in real life would be maybe a fire hazard, but I liked it, so I put it there. And I thought maybe that's where they stored their plates and the salt and pepper and things like that. And because this was, I think this is medium wall height, that definitely made things a little bit interesting when I was trying to place everything, because I feel like doing kitchens when you do upper cabinets on some of the taller wall heights, it feels really unrealistic. Like, I mean, it is a Sims, it doesn't have to be realistic, but it just felt super unrealistic, if that makes sense. And I love the idea of having a cozy little fireplace in here, but because of the space, I opted for that little like furnace one, but I think that worked out really well. And then I ended up using those tables from Desert Luxe, and I actually use them out by the front door as well as like pots for plants, and I think they look really cute that way. I feel like this item is so versatile, love it so much. And just as a reminder, this kit is free if you have base game, and it is only free until October 17th, so be sure to download it before it's gone if you can download it. I highly suggest doing it, and I just don't want you to forget. And I had been doing some thinking that, you know, I actually love taking screenshots with Sims and thinking about what they do and just trying to create a space for them to live. So I don't know, maybe if it would be a good idea to create maybe a hashtag for the channel so you could actually create some Sims and have a story for them and upload them on the gallery so I could find them and possibly make homes for them. I feel like that could be really fun and really inspirational, having you all make some homes and some stories. So I guess let me know in the comments if you feel like that might be a good idea, and I can try to come up with a hashtag that hasn't already been taken so that I can actually find them if you were to upload them. But I feel like that just sounds like so much fun, being able to like see what you all would want and like stories that you play out, because I just feel like, you know, that's what The Sims is about, is creating all kinds of different stories and lifestyles and families. And so I would just love to see your take on that. But anyways, you can see me adding all of those gorgeous curtains. I love them so much. I feel like I use them any chance I get. And then I actually really like that little hallway that goes off, that, like I said, it had like that weird, like, not actually a wall there to get into the bedroom, and it was so dark in this house too. Like when I started, I was like, where are all the lights? We need to add a bunch of lights everywhere. And I really liked the very simple, like, single bulb, I cannot talk today, single bulb light. And I love that in this space, and I feel like it created a nice warmth. And honestly, I love the backyard. I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but I feel like it's just such a beautiful space to hang out in and like have company. Like I could see the daughter having her friends over and wanting them to hang out and having like a fire outside and grilling, and just like, I just feel like that would be so much fun. And I feel like, you know, the father and daughter have like a really wonderful relationship, and I just feel like they look so cute in all the screenshots. Like, love it so much. And I ended up, you saw I had that table out, but I felt like maybe it's because it was a tall table that it was just so big. Like, I just felt like it took up so much space. And I added in that half wall because I feel like it added a nice separation of space. And we didn't need like 4 chairs because there's only 2 Sims here, but you could possibly have 3 if you did have maybe 2 parents or maybe 2 kids, because obviously you can change it up and do whatever you want with it. But I felt like it helped divide up the space a little bit, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, to be honest, given that the space was just so like empty, and like how it ended up. I was really worried, honestly, about the front and back doors, the way I put them, but I decided that is what I wanted it to look like, so I was going to keep it that way and figure it out from there. I don't know if you've ever been building, you're like, this is what it's going to be, and I just need to figure it out. And then for the teens room, I use this gorgeous wallpaper, and I love the way that it looks with the bed, but I didn't put it all the way around the room because I just felt like it was too much. And obviously the wall with the windows on it, you can barely see the wall anyways. So I guess it really wouldn't have mattered if I put the wallpaper on that wall. But I feel like having that extra color by the bed really helped tie it in. And I feel like it kind of has like a really nice boho vibe, to be honest. And I did end add in, of course, my favorite mirror of all time. I know I use it all the time, but it just works so well. And I wish we had more like leaning mirrors on the wall. Like that would be my dream. I would love for that to actually be a thing. And then I actually wanted to add something above the wall here, and I really liked that eclectic painting. Like maybe those are pictures maybe that teen took or just found interesting, you know, and they just wanted to add it in there. And then of course including a backpack, and the dresser I included I felt like worked really well in this space. And then I believe I added like a trophy and just some other knickknacks on here because I felt like maybe they were like someone who was winning competitions in high school. I think it was like the computer programming. I think that's the one I used because I ended up getting a trophy, and I put like the little flag on the wall that goes with that club. And I felt like maybe she was into computer programming. Obviously you can change it out and there's several different versions, but I felt like that would be something really fun to include. And that adorable little cat like stereo in there, I thought that would be really nice to have. And then I also included, I think it was, oh, I can't remember. I think it was the Brightchester flag. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's where she wants to go to college and this is what she wants to do. I guess technically if she was into like computer programming, she would probably want to go to Foxbury, but who knows? Maybe her dad went there, or maybe it's just closer, you know, closer to home. So she live at home. I mean, who knows, right? Like, but I think maybe that's like what she was trying to get. And so this is the point in which I ended up actually changing the roof just a little bit because honestly, I just didn't like it. I just felt like it made it so dark in the back, like having it overhang like that. So I did change it. Like I said, I feel like that was probably the most pricey renovation you would do to this house, and I tried to keep it fairly realistic by not expanding the house a ton or anything like that, and just really utilizing the space we were given. And of course you can tell I decided not to just keep it base game. I decided to use all of the packs, but that could also be another video I could do, like renovating a base game house using just base game and just kind of giving it a facelift, because I feel like the amount of stuff we've gotten for the base game since like it launched, like Oasis Springs, is incredible. Like I feel like there's just so many more objects. And I did include like a cute little driveway. Of course cars aren't real and we can't use them, but I liked the idea of having a little driveway there. Although like it felt a little weird putting a driveway right in front of a bunch of windows. Like I don't know, I have like this vision of the car crashing through the windows into the daughter's bedroom. Maybe that's just my anxiety, but I was just like, it felt really weird, but it's a sim, so it doesn't matter. But I feel like that probably isn't something you would usually do, but I felt like it looked really nice. And then I just wanted to add in a few what looked like more natural vegetation here in the front for the desert, and just a few rocks. And then, like I said, I ended up adding those like planters by the front door with those plants that I pulled out. I think a lot of these ended up coming from Debug, at least like I got them from Debug, but not all of them may be like purely Debug, if that makes sense. And so just kind of putting those on top like they're little planters, and I felt like that worked out super nicely here. And then just adding a little bit of terrain paint to give it a little texture. Of course, if it's deleted when you download it, just, you know, you can add it back if you actually want to include it there. And I wanted the fireplace to be a little more open, so I put it over there and used, I believe that was from City Living, those like little like room separator wooden things. I don't know what they're called, but I put those up is to help give it a little more privacy. And then just adding that vegetation, I feel like it made it really cozy in the back. And just I ended up adding like a grill and a nice seating space around the fireplace, and I just can imagine it's just so warm and cozy. And when I did screenshots, this has been play tested, so your sim should be able to get to everything properly. Like I didn't have any issues, but of course you may have to move some items around if the Sims get mad at you, which I feel like sometimes happens. If you know, you know. So anyways, I'm just adding in that little seating space here. I kept it pretty simple. I didn't want it to be like a super complicated outdoor space, and I didn't include any like lawn stuff because I figured there's not much of one, so we wouldn't need it. But we are getting towards the end of this video, so if you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And as always, leave a comment down below if there's something that you want to see, or again, if you feel like the hashtag is a good idea, because I feel like that would be something really fun to do. So I hope you're having a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.